Hello. Now, it won't come as a huge surprise, but it looks like we're heading for a big recession, perhaps the longest ever. The latest numbers show the economy shrank slightly earlier this year. It means we might already be in recession. We won't know officially until we get figures for the end of the year. Let's give you a breakdown of the situation as we see it tonight. Gross domestic product, or GDP, is the value of all the goods and services produced, and it's a really good measure of the health of our economy. Well, between July and September, it fell by this figure, 0.2%. That might not sound like a lot, but it's not good. Take a look at the graph we're about to show you. It sees GDP plummeting in 2020, back here during the height of the pandemic. That's the last time we went into a short recession. Then a spike as the lockdowns were lifted, and then it gradually falls again. Now, if GDP value falls for 2 quarters or 6 months in a row, that is officially then a recession. And it's predicted that this one could last for 2 years. It normally means unemployment rises and companies make less money. Well, Julian Drucker has been to meet some of those at the sharp end of all those figures.
They're the figures which frame exactly where our economy is right now. Recession is looming, but at this West London factory, they already knew that. Here they produce art for retailers like H&M, but also Made.com, which has just gone into administration. The boss told me they employ 6 full-time staff, but they've had to reduce numbers.
It's really the worst possible part of owning a business and running a business. So it's really, really challenging. But for the greater good, we've had to implement difficult changes to make sure that we can survive. I think, as you see, the cost of living crisis has hit home. It's all about trying to maintain our orders and encouraging people to buy and invest in art. And I think it will be challenging.
With the Bank of England warning of bleak times ahead, the Chancellor is preparing to unveil his autumn statement in 6 days' time.
Well, the Bank of England says that we are likely to be in recession. This is disappointing but not entirely unexpected news. And what we need to do now is to present a plan to the country to tackle the root cause of the issues we face, which is inflation, and a plan that protects the most vulnerable. And that's what I must do next Thursday.
So what will Mr Hunt announce? And crucially, when will it kick in?
The key decision for him is to what extent does he have to firmly do measures now versus to what extent can he get away with penciling in tax rises or spending cuts for future years and perhaps hope that they won't actually be needed and hope that actually things turn out better than what we expect.
GDP is not just the value of goods, but services too. And at this salon in Watford, they're feeling the effects of a shrinking economy. People are still getting their haircuts, but less often.
One of the main things we've noticed, the average used to be 4 to 6 weeks. It's now stretching to 15, 16 weeks. And if that continues, we're looking at having to find 30% extra clientele just to stay where we are.
Today's stats can get revised later on, but the numbers all point to an economy that's getting reduced as the cost of living crisis expands. Julian Drucker, 5 News.